Manchester United supporters could be about to witness a fascinating midfield rebuild this summer, and one name that is beginning to generate serious excitement is Hayden Hackney. According to recent reports, the Red Devils are expected to intensify their pursuit of the Middlesbrough midfielder once a deal for Atalanta star Ederson is completed. The development suggests that the club's recruitment team is not looking at just one midfield addition, but instead planning a broader transformation of the squad. For years, United fans have debated what the team is missing in midfield. Some argue that the squad lacks energy. Others believe there is a shortage of technical quality and ball progression. The reality is probably a combination of both. Too often, United have struggled to control matches against quality opposition, and that has highlighted the need for younger, more dynamic midfield options. That is where Ederson and Hayden Hackney come into the picture. Reports suggest that Ederson remains Manchester United's priority target in midfield. The Brazilian has established himself as one of Serie A's most effective midfielders, combining physicality, defensive awareness, and the ability to drive forward with the ball. United see him as a player capable of bringing balance and intensity to the center of the pitch. Recent reports indicate that negotiations have progressed significantly and that a move is getting closer. However, what is particularly interesting is the suggestion that signing Ederson would not end United's midfield recruitment plans. Instead, the club could immediately turn its attention to Middlesbrough's Hayden Hackney. For many supporters who regularly watch Championship football, Hackney is not a new name. The England under-21 international has been one of Middlesbrough's standout performers over the last few seasons. His maturity, passing range, and composure have attracted attention from several Premier League clubs. Manchester United are among those monitoring his development closely. One factor that makes this story particularly compelling is Michael Carrick's connection to the player. Carrick worked with Hackney during his time at Middlesbrough and knows exactly what the midfielder can offer. Reports indicate that Carrick remains a strong admirer of Hackney and could play an important role in convincing the club to move forward with a deal. When managers and coaches already know a player well, transfers often become easier. There is less uncertainty. There's already trust. Carrick understands Hackney's strengths, weaknesses, personality, and potential. That existing relationship could become a major advantage for Manchester United if they decide to push ahead with negotiations. Hackney's profile fits many of the characteristics United are reportedly looking for. He is comfortable receiving the ball under pressure, can dictate the tempo of matches, and possesses excellent vision. He is also still young enough to improve significantly over the coming years. Modern football increasingly demands midfielders who can contribute in every phase of play. Teams need players who can defend, build attacks, retain possession, and create opportunities. Hackney has shown many of those qualities during his performances for Middlesbrough and England's youth teams. Perhaps the most exciting aspect of this potential transfer is what it says about United's long-term planning. For many years, supporters criticized the club for making short-term signings without building a clear structure for the future. Recruiting a player like Hackney would represent a different approach. Instead of signing only established stars, United would be investing in a young English midfielder with significant upside. The club would be adding talent that could develop over several seasons while potentially becoming a key figure in the next generation of team. Competition for his signature may not make things easy. However, reports have suggested that multiple Premier League clubs are interested in Hackney. Teams across England have noticed his performances, and Middlesbrough are aware that they possess one of the Championship's most valuable young assets. That competition could push the transfer fee higher than initially expected. Middlesbrough are under no pressure to sell cheaply and will want to maximize their return. Some reports have even suggested that the club may wait for international tournaments and youth competitions to further increase the player's value. From Manchester United's perspective, timing will be crucial. The club cannot afford lengthy transfer sagas this summer. Supporters have grown tired of negotiations that drag on for months before eventually collapsing. If United genuinely view Hackney as a priority target, many fans would prefer the club to move decisively once the Ederson situation is finalized. There is also an argument that signing both Ederson and Hackney would create a much healthier midfield balance. Ederson would bring experience from top-level European football and provide immediate quality. Hackney would offer youth, technical ability, and long-term potential. Together, they could help reshape a department that has often looked unbalanced in recent seasons. Many fans are already imagining how the pair could fit into United's midfield structure. Ederson could provide defensive security and physical presence, while Hackney could help progress possession and connect midfield with attack. Their skill sets appear complementary rather than overlapping. Of course, any transfer discussion must also consider potential departures. Several current midfielders face uncertain futures. Some have struggled with consistency, while others are approaching the later stages of their careers. United know that refreshing the squad is necessary if they want to compete with the strongest teams in England and Europe. That is why this summer feels so important. The club is attempting to build a midfield capable of supporting the attacking players while also protecting the defense. Too often, United have appeared vulnerable in transition. Opponents have found space too easily, exposing weaknesses that have persisted for multiple seasons. Recruiting the right midfielders could solve many of those problems. Hackney's ability to retain possession and move the ball intelligently would help United control games more effectively. Ederson's energy and defensive qualities would add another layer of protection. Together, they could provide the foundation for a more balanced and competitive team. Another reason supporters are excited about Hackney is his mentality. Players coming through championship football often develop resilience and determination. They understand the demands of a long season and are accustomed to physical, competitive matches. Many successful Premier League players have emerged from that environment, and Hackney appears to possess the mentality required to take the next step. Reports in recent months have consistently linked him with a move to Old Trafford, suggesting that United's interest is genuine rather than speculative. The admiration from Carrick and club officials appears to have been established for some time. As the transfer window progresses, all eyes will first focus on Ederson. If United can secure the Brazilian midfielder, attention may quickly shift toward Hackney. The sequence of deals could reveal a lot about the club's strategy. Rather than making isolated signings, United seem to be targeting players who fit a specific vision for the future. For supporters, that is encouraging. Manchester United's most successful eras were built on strong recruitment, clear planning, and a commitment to developing talented players. The potential arrivals of Ederson and Hayden Hackney would suggest a return to those principles. Nothing is guaranteed in football transfers, and many obstacles can still emerge. Competing clubs, financial negotiations, and player decisions can all change the situation rapidly. But the current indications suggest that Manchester United view Hayden Hackney as a serious target once the Ederson deal is completed. If both transfers eventually happen, United could enter the new season with a completely refreshed midfield. It would provide fresh energy, greater tactical flexibility, and a stronger platform for success. The coming weeks could therefore be among the most important of the summer. Ederson may be the first piece of the puzzle, but Hayden Hackney could be the next major step in Manchester United's attempt to build a midfield capable of taking the club back to where it belongs, competing for the biggest trophies in English and European football.